Today on Eternal Conversations, we have Slade, my son Slade. His kindergarten teacher said that he was the smartest kid that she ever seen, the most advanced student she had seen in 15 years. And he was the smartest kid at Montessori school. And he does better than all the other kids at school, or most of the other kids at school.
No, I don't. They have like 3 other gifted people from my school. Actually, more than 3. They have 3 in 3rd grade.
And he's in gifted, and
How long are you going to be podcasting?
I don't know, maybe like an hour. It doesn't matter.
There's going to be a lot of editing.
Why?
Because it's an hour-long video.
So no editing, just whatever we say, you know.
But you need to do some editing. Like what I said earlier about the annotation.
Oh, yeah.
That was like right here somewhere on the screen.
Yeah.
Stay there again, like that. Well.
So you know what I need to do is get you started on programming languages. So Roger sent me a program. So you've been programming HTML. One day my son Slade said, "Hey Dad, come see." And I went and looked, and he was changing and reprogramming HTML to change everything on the screen. And
one time I deleted a whole entire HTML. Actually, one time I mixed Google's HTML with YouTube's HTML. So I had a theme on, so the background was a certain picture, and it was all custom. And the background is white, and they had like all these weird things. It was really weird. I mixed up Google with YouTube. One time I deleted a whole entire HTML.
Oh.
And it was just a blank white page.
Yeah, and I was like, man. And then I said, well, how did you do that? How did you learn how to do that? I don't know. I just started messing with it and did it. And I was like, what? And see, 3 of my uncles are been computer programming specialists for like 30 years, like programming computers.
I noticed that with like a lot of things to do with the internet, like changing stuff, because on YouTube, the second I saw the editing things, I knew how to put annotations and all that. I knew how to put words on the screen. I knew how to put closed captions. I just knew it. I knew how to put background music, and now I already know a whole bunch of stuff about Pinnacle Studio, and I barely even use it.
I keep changing the microphone volume because sometimes it's going too loud, you know. You gotta just be careful.
Because I'm doing like this, and
yeah, you gotta be careful because it won't.
I'm trying to get a little far away.
It won't sound good, you know. You gotta get the right.
Yeah, it'll be like really, really loud, and people with headphones are gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
The sweet spot, you know.
Like right here for me.
Okay. Yeah, and just like when we gave you an iPad for the first time,
I was already
just
recording
like, here you go,
video.
and just you already knew what to do, you know.
When I was like 3 years old, they had this program called what was it called? I can't remember. It was so long since I last.
I know, me too. I don't know. No. Mommy always says it, but I can't quite remember. But you know, it's one thing that's mind-blowing, though, is what I always think is that, so I got to see the computer, not completely from the beginning, but from the early 80s, like Atari and stuff, go from Atari to regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, Xbox, and then of course there's a lot of other ones in between. But to Xbox One now, GTA 5 and all that stuff, and then now there's better and there's way better games now on the computer
that are free.
That are for free. That used to cost. We used to pay $50 a game.
$100, like half $100.
For regular Nintendo, like $50 a game, and it might
for a little pixelated game.
And it might not
or
even
it's
be
a
good.
little character running.
And then sometimes it wasn't even good. So it's just big. I'd have to mow like push mow like 10 lawns, knock on people's doors, say come cut your grass and get $5 a lawn, and then spend all that time and effort to go buy a game, and it wouldn't even be good. Now there's like literally millions of games, seemingly infinite amount of games for free on the computer, like Happy Wheels, that's super good. And the thing is, nowadays, you just play a game, you don't like it, oh well,
find another free one that's
go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Like, there's some online games that like, oh, that one's bad, I'm gonna go find another one until WildStar. Online, you could talk to people, you could go battle enemies, first person 3D, you could make your own characters all in 3D, and it's all crazy, and you could buy things, and it's all crazy, and it's a really good game, and it's completely free.
Yeah.
And then the little $50 games are little pixelated characters running across the screen, jumping on Goombas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mario was pretty fun, dude. It was worth the money. But even though it's a little pixelated, kind of like Minecraft, it's a pixelated game, but it's fun.
But it's still
Terraria. Terraria.
But Minecraft is not just pixelated. It's not flat. It's 3D.
Oh yeah, that's true. See, the games that I grew up being used to 2D games, but you grew up being used to 3D games. So it's harder for the kids it's actually, I heard, harder for some kids to play 2D games. Like, you can't play Mario because it's too hard for you.
Because I'm used to.
Because you don't understand.
I'm always used to being able to run around in a wide open area, jumping on top of things and shooting people in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Instead of like jumping 3D, and you have to press the sideways button to go forward, and then use the sideways button always being the either going left or right.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say too is that one thing that's mind-blowing, super mind-blowing to me, is that, so I once thought of this. I once thought I'll probably never live to see the year 2100. I'm pretty sure about that.
Unless something happens and you could live forever.
128. Yeah, I'd be 128 years old, and I kind of doubt that. But I said, my son Slade was born 2007, so he'll be 93 in the year 2100. That's very possible. And so imagine, like, the technological advances from, say, when I was a kid in the early 80s to now, or even from the early 80s to 2000. But everyone knows how fast technology moves now. It's unbelievable.
Like, in 2100, you're probably going to be able to press a button and you're going to go straight to Texas.
Yeah, you can like text
Texas from Canada.
I mean, we can't imagine. Nobody could really imagine. You could probably like text yourself. Or something like that. I mean, if you could text images and videos now,
then you could, like,
it's foreseeable that you could text objects or something, or send objects.
Yeah, you could have this little plate looking thing. Put whatever you want to send on there, and then you go to like Google Maps and see where you want to send it to, and you could just send it. You could send it to the middle of the North Pole. It's just gonna teleport straight there.
Yeah, I know. Like
who knows?
I mean, there's no. Just like somebody said.
And then like in the year 2100, there's probably gonna be video games, and you'd be like, that doesn't look realistic to games like GTA and stuff.
Just like one of Joe Rogan's bits was that he said, yeah, in the 70s, if you told people that, you know, in the future they would be able to text pictures and videos invisibly through the air, And I mean, be able to send pictures and videos of yourself invisibly through the air, and it would land into somebody else's pocket, into somebody else's phone. They would think you were crazy.
They'd be like,
They would think, no way. They would look at their landline rotary phone and think, yeah, right. You think you're crazy, but like now, that's just that's the
and
norm.
then they're gonna wait, and
Just billions of those.
and then they're
happen in a
gonna wait
second.
when they're an old man. And he's like, do you remember? I remember that man that told me about the sending videos and pictures, and he was right about that. And then like the person that time traveled is still gonna be that age. Is still gonna be the same age he was. No, and he's gonna tell him, "I told you, isn't it crazy, right?" And the old person's gonna be like, "Yeah, it is crazy. I never thought that was gonna ever be possible."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In 2015, we're already supposed to have flying cars and hoverboards.
We already.
Jetpacks and laser beams. And
Well, we already have laser beams and jetpacks, and we kind of already have hoverboards a little, but not.
Yeah,
They
it's
could
not the same though. It
No.
doesn't really fly on the.
No, but they have a few, but they're really rare.
Well-
They don't go up real high. They're like this high from the ground, via magnet. And flying cars were invented, but they just haven't made it publicly sold because it takes way too much gas, and it's gonna be way too much. It's gonna be more expensive than the most expensive car in the world. And no
Yeah,
one's gonna be able to afford it.
yeah. I guess you're right about that. That there are some flying cars, and there are some jetpacks, and there are some
Laser.
hoverboards. I've seen them. That's true. That
lasers.
use magnets. There are some lasers, and all that stuff. But I'm just trying to get this to go sideways. I don't know if I can, but anyway, there are those things, but they're really expensive and they're really rare right now. Whether or not people are actually going to use them in the future, more
Like maybe in 2100, they're gonna be as common as cars.
yeah.
Like normal little.
Well, we don't have those things, but we still have other things, though. You know, and we have other things to look forward to. I mean,
Like airplanes.
I mean, it's probably going to be texting ourselves and, you know.
Texting your like online shopping, but it's not the same. You don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. You buy it, you have to pay for it, and then right after it just appears right at the door, and you take it out
Yeah.
without having to go anywhere.
So
I don't know how they would do it, but it could be possible.
So let's get into some more philosophical subjects. So that because you see, I studied philosophy, psychology, and for 15 years. Got a psychology degree in philosophy, master's in philosophy, all that stuff like that. But there are some philosophical conclusions that I've only come to in recent times that my son has already come to, or either he has already come to, advanced to that level, or I used to already know that and I forgot, and then I forgot, and then I remembered. And actually, Plato says that you don't.
Who's Plato?
Oh, Plato is one of the first philosophers ever from ancient Greece. He's basically. It's almost like all philosophy has followed from him. He's like the grand philosopher of all time. And
The video is still recording, right?
yep. And so what he said was that everybody already knows everything. We just have to remember it. So it's forgotten, but we remember it.
We knew everything when you're really young.
Well, he doesn't mean like that. He means that you don't. you don't learn anything new. But what you do when you're learning something new, you think you're learning something new, you're really just remembering it. It's already kind of like stored in your brain somewhere, and you're kind of remembering it or retrieving it, and it actually isn't brand new.
It's kind of like it depends on like if you learn it when you're like really young, and then you remember it.
Well,
it's kind of like learning a new language. You know, like all the languages, but you forget every word. And when you learn a new one, you remember all the words.
Yeah. So, so some of the things that Slade has come revealed to me, some of his revelations or thoughts. Well, I guess we'll talk about it. So, what do you think? What do you think is the meaning of life?
To try to be as happy as you can, and then try to have.
You could think about it too. You don't have to answer right away.
A family and love people.
Yeah.
And live and explore as much as you can of the earth.
Yeah.
And try to live your life at the fullest.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And what do you think God is?
Everything. He's everything.
So God is just like everything. Just the wood, there's the rocks, there's the waters, the clouds, everything.
All natural things that come. Everything comes from something natural. Like it all comes.
Too close.
It all comes from like wood and dirt, and like the statue right there comes from like rocks, and he's everything that's natural, and then so that makes him everything.
Yeah. What do you?
Because everything's made out of something natural. Like even cars are made out of something natural.
I know, but I think the same thing. But I wonder, does he, she, or it have a face, or have a face?
I was thinking he does, and he kind of looks like us, and he wanted to make an animal that looked like him, or smarter than all the other animals. They all look different, and we're special, and we're different from every other animal.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what it does seem to be like. We're like half God, half animals.
Because we're like smart and we can create things.
It's strange, like because we are mammals.
We learn languages that are not like bark.
Yeah.
It's every single word is different.
Yeah, like we have hair, skin, teeth, nails, just like every other mammal, just like cats, just like deer.
Your hair is like the little. Hair is basically the barely. Like it grows on all your body, so it's like fur, and then it grows, but it doesn't grow as fast, or it doesn't grow as much, but it's kind of like an animal fur on your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have warm blood like mammals.
Yep. So
we give live birth.
Yeah. Hair, skin, teeth, nails give live birth, all that stuff. But at the same time, we have like this. We're leagues and leagues and leagues and leagues above in intelligence compared to other animals. Like most other animals don't even know that they're going to die one day, or they don't even know. They don't have a concept of mortality. They don't have a concept of outer
They probably
space.
don't even know what death really is, and they just try to eat. And Well, they maybe know what death is, but they don't know. They try to survive, but they don't know that they're gonna die no matter what happens to them.
Yeah. And it's like leagues and leagues. It's almost like we're gods or aliens mixed with animals or something. Like maybe.
But are aliens really are aliens even real?
Oh well, I mean, no one knows for 100% sure, but with
because
all
a lot of videos have proof, but a lot of those videos are fake, so you don't know which one's fake and which one's real. But most of them are probably fake, but a lot of them are real.
Yeah, so I mean,
it could lead to proof.
Yeah, it could be.
But some of them could be real. It's kind of like the Loch Ness Monster. People like the famous picture of the fake Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
That's real. It's real. It's not edited, but it's not a real thing called living.
Well, the thing is about that is that, say you look at UFO sighting footage, and sometimes it looks really good. Like you could really and truly be looking at a UFO, but you wouldn't know for sure if it was
real.
A film of a UFO, like a light or a plane, or I don't know, some kind of glare or ball lightning.
But you know what'd be epic proof? If there's like this big ship in front of you, you walk in and there's 100% real aliens inside of there.
But then the thing is, when you told other people,
they probably not gonna believe you.
They would think that you were
and if you record it, they're like, oh, those aliens are only people in costumes and all that's fake.
They would think that you were having like hallucinations, or they think you were dreaming, or.
But if you're recording it, they're still gonna think it's fake. Some people are gonna think it's fake, and some are not gonna think it's fake. And some people are gonna be confused and not gonna know what it is.
Yeah, one of my favorite. Or
they're not gonna know what they think it's gonna is, or whatever.
I mean, I'm like, I am personally 100% sure that there's other life out in the universe, because I mean, there's millions and billions of stars and billions and billions of galaxies and trillions and trillions of planets.
There's 100% other living things, but it's not really aliens. It's like cells that grow, but that's different.
But the thing is, if there are other alien life forms that are visiting us, it's probably true. It's probably happened. I kind of believe in Roswell, and I kind of believe in, there's some people that are on the internet that talk about, I was there at Roswell, now I'm about to die, I'm old, I'm about to die, whatever, and I'm telling you it's true, I'm telling you. But still, to me, until they come down and announce themselves, and I really think that would be the greatest event in all of human history, is if aliens came down and announced themselves and, hey, what's the word? Announce themselves, and we got to meet them and hang out, mingle, kind of thing. I think that would be the greatest event in all of human history. That would
gathering. That would like they gather up.
Introduce themselves. What I meant to say. They would turn. I mean, that would turn so much of so many beliefs, world beliefs, upside down on its head.
It's a pile of goo. It's a whole bunch of different goo, and you have different beliefs. And then if that happens, it's just taking them all and mixing them all up, and then throwing it on the ground.
Definitely.
And picking it up.
Yeah. And then so, I mean, that would just because that's never happened, and people have wondered about other life forms living out in the stars forever, and even me or everyone pretty much looks into the stars at night and thinks like, what is that? Like points to that star. What is that?
Like,
what's that right there? What is
especially
that?
when I see some lights moving, I'm always thinking about alien UFO. But it's only like an airplane. But you never know, it might actually be one, but it's so far you can't tell, and you think it's just a helicopter or airplane, because that's common to see one at night like that, but it might be UFO. Some airplanes might be filled with aliens trying to disguise themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you never know. I mean, there's theories that the government has been communicating with aliens for a long time now, and there's even a theory that because of the Roswell crash, that's how we got sonar and radar and laser and all kind of like stealth.
What's the
Roswell incident? I think it was in the 40s when. Oh, don't on my phone. I think it was in the 40s whenever a UFO. Well, it's kind of a long story, but a UFO crashed. A quote-unquote UFO crashed in New Mexico, and a farmer found it, and the military came and found a crashed UFO with some aliens on supposedly 2 or 3 were dead. I'm probably getting these facts wrong because I don't have anything to look them up right now, but
from what you remember.
But 2 or 3, a few aliens, a couple of them were dead. One was actually supposed to still live. One supposedly lived, and they questioned him a lot, and he stayed alive for a while. So when the crash first happened, and there are people like who lived in the area who claimed to have seen it with their own eyes, and seen people who worked in the military and also claimed to have seen the alien with their own eyes, and they admit it to this day. But anyway, the government, the first day, they said we found an alien spacecraft. Then right after that, they recanted and said no, it wasn't an alien spacecraft. It was a weather balloon. It was a weather balloon used for scientific.
But what was the aliens inside it?
Yeah, but see, they said that it wasn't an alien spacecraft. So first the government said it was an alien spacecraft, we found aliens. Then they're always trying to cover up certain stuff that's like,
been spread out.
Like say if the government,
like, it wasn't
say if the U.S. government found aliens and they were able to get technology from them, they wouldn't want the rest of the countries to know about it because
it's kind of like a dog in a cage, and then the people don't want to see it or don't want it out, and then it gets lost, and then the government's trying to hide it and make up excuses.
Yeah.
To try to say that what happened, why, like the dog's there, why the dog isn't there.
It could even be the case that that's how the United States is so more advanced than a lot of other countries, is because of the technology that we gained from there. That's sonar, radar, laser, stealth, all these types. There's a whole list of technologies one man wrote a whole book about, but maybe that was a good jumping point for us at a certain time to advance us so much further ahead of the rest of other countries.
How long have we been recording?
I don't know. See, 34 minutes.
So this podcast is probably not gonna be an hour. It might be an hour. I don't really know.
It could be an hour. I wish I had some cold water.
Yeah, I need to use the restroom.
Oh, you do? Oh, well, you could just go. Just go, like,
You cut this part out.
Well, I could just keep talking while you go use the bathroom. Or you know what bring the jug of cold water. Go use the bathroom inside and bring the jug of cold water. And in
Editing this, can you cut this out?
a clean glass too.
Can you cut this out?
And a glass and some jug of cold water. So, thanks, Slade. So like, it's fun talking to my son, and he likes to talk in this kind of medium and stuff like that, and since he wants to be a famous YouTuber, instead, I asked him if he would rather be a famous YouTuber or an astronaut. He said he'd rather be a famous YouTuber.
And I always said that I wanted to be an astronaut.
Yep. I thought you were gonna get water and use the restroom. Okay, get us some water, Slade. That does dying of thirst. That does dying. I'm gonna just keep talking about stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so. Can you get the door open? Turn on the light outside. Turn the light on. So you can see better. You got it? You got the light on? Oh, you worried about going outside to get to the other house to get water because we've been talking about aliens?
I'm always nervous.
Well, it's okay.
I'm always nervous.
Oh, it's okay. They're not gonna get you. I'm sure that they're really nice.
And then
Look at E.T. Remember, watched E.T. E.T. was nice. You'd want to find him.
well,
You'd want him to be your friend and your buddy.
I actually wouldn't.
Why?
Because people are gonna find out and they're gonna do what they did in the movie and take me away in the secret hospital.
Oh, boo. So, yeah, go get us some water. You don't have to be scared of aliens outside. It's okay. You want me to go get, but I thought you have to use the bathroom though.
I do. I'm scared to just pee off this thing.
Why?
I can't really pee off this thing.
Yeah, right there.
It's there.
Yeah, you can. And then I'll go get the water while you keep talking. You have to though.
You could cut this part out of the video. You could cut the part out of the video.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to have to do that.
I mean, it's not that bad. You're just gonna move. You're probably gonna cut out most of this part anyway. So you're talking about one thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna be talking about stuff while you would get water. Oh, this kid.
It's making the video shorter. It's just talking.
Yeah, but I was just gonna talk to them.
Okay, you're gonna edit this part out, right? And we almost recorded for an hour, but we had.
I was on 33 minutes.
Well, it says 41 minutes.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I know, because we had to cut it out, so.
now let's get back. I was so thirsty.
I need to pee. I needed to pee the whole podcasting.
Oh.
I had to pee for like an hour, and I didn't want to do like what you said. I didn't want to leave in the middle of the thing, but I realized I'm gonna pee on myself.
They do that on the Joe Rogan podcast. Some people is like, I gotta pee. He's like, well, go. And then he just keeps talking while they go, and then when about whatever. And when they come
Yeah,
back,
because they recorded for like 2 hours.
3.
Yeah, 3. Oh my god. Well, I would need a pee.
So they like drink. And then I gotta pee. And I said, well, go pee. And he just talks while they go pee. You know. But so. Yeah, so now we're back. We both needed some cold water real bad, and Slade needed to use the restroom, but he was scared that aliens were going to get him because we were talking about aliens. And when we went outside, we saw like a red light.
But I knew
probably
that was
a plane like flying.
And when I opened the door for the first time, I heard like this noise outside, and it wasn't Mimi. It wasn't our cat.
Yeah, and then the cat did meow out of nowhere in the dark, and there's stuff flying around the sky like planes.
But I knew it was our cat because I'm used to it in the dark all the time. I'm used to it in the dark. I knew it was our cat because I'm used to it in the dark all the time.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, so the thing is, like, man, you are going to experience in your lifetime technological computer advances that were going to be beyond imagination. For instance, they think that in 20 years, maybe even less, but in 20 years for sure, virtual reality is going to be completely indistinguishable from this reality.
So when I'm only 28, like as old as Jacksepticeye, he's 26.
Yeah, and like Pierce, your little brother and sister, who are 3 and 2. Pierce is 3 and Blair
is gonna experience
even
the most.
A little bit even more, maybe.
It depends on. It really depends. It depends on when we die. It depends for when we die.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, let's see.
As soon as you're born.
I really hope not, but let's see she dies at 83 and I live to be like 93. Let's not hope that, but if she does.
Well, as soon as you're born, you're able to die. That's true. Anybody could die.
You could die in your mom's stomach.
Yep. Anybody can die at any time, but for a billion different reasons. But the technological advances are going to be.
Like, way over the top.
Virtual reality becomes indistinguishable from this reality. Of course, there's also theories that this reality that we're experiencing is a computer simulation.
But we would just be robots. I was about to say we would be robots and we wouldn't have blood, but part of the computer part generated stuff could be our blood. Like our blood could also be virtual.
Yeah.
But
and the resolution is so high, like.
But it could be it's an infinite loop of virtual reality. Because if they're watching over us, there's probably someone watching over this. So we're watching virtual reality of people 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 watching virtual reality in an endless loop.
Yeah, that's really
Kind of like when you put when you put a phone up to a mirror.
Yeah. A mirror up to a mirror, you mean? Or a phone too, but
Yeah.
especially a mirror up to. Oh yeah, that's really cool. Never really thought about that. Who's watching the people watching this computer simulation? So that's why like everything is in. I
And
don't know.
then the
I
first
totally believe in infinity because it just seems like it has to be the case, you know.
on September 3rd, actually his birthday, September 3rd.
Oh.
we were
Yeah.
we were talking about, and can someone draw an infinite loop of circles or something? Like an
Yeah.
infinite loop of circles. If God drew it, the whole existence of everything, even beyond, because God is gonna live forever. If he was, or if he, she, or it, or if they,
Yeah. Or it could be they. That's right. That's right.
or if God drew, if he was a he, she, or they, if God drew an infinite loop of circles, he would never finish. There's no end. You cannot draw infinite anything.
Yeah. Even that's. We talked about that. We said there is no infinite. You can't draw in infinity. Not even God could draw infinity because infinity, if there is no beginning and there is no end, then starting or trying to master an infinity project would never be complete. It would never be completed. So therefore, it would never be infinite. You never can label it infinity, because it would never be a never-ending job. Like we talked about, if people drew circles from the time, if everyone who ever lived drew circles 24/7 to the time that they died, forever and ever and ever, since the beginning of human history. I mean, that would even barely touch it. You know, even if God started from the beginning of time,
But
drawing circles.
from like, when was God born? Was God ever born? If God made everything,
Who made God?
who made God?
Yeah, that is a good question.
Who made God? If
That-
God made everything, he couldn't have made himself, because he wouldn't have been a thing yet.
Well, that's what. That's why there has to be infinity, because there has to be. Always has to be something before something. So God's like, who made God? God was always there.
Who made the person? Who made God? Who made the person? Who made the person? Who made God? Who made the person? Who made the person? Who made the person? Who made God? In an infinite loop.
Yeah. So even if God
God couldn't have just been there. He couldn't have just been there.
But let's just say, even if he was, for somehow, some way, was always just there, he still could not be infinity, because infinity hasn't come to an end yet, and by its definition never can or never will, and it had no beginning either. So I don't know.
But the beginning could be. Actually, there is no beginning, because there is numbers after zero, in negative numbers, and then then so it's adding on to. But if you really want to be basic, 0 is really the start. But if you really want to be like really deep into it, there is no start.
Well, you know what I like is that a circle is a sign of infinity, because a circle has no beginning and no end.
But that's the same with all the shapes. Like a square, you could do like this.
Oh, that's right.
An infinite loop. A triangle.
Oh, or octagon.
Octagon. You could do it with any shape.
With this,
like it could be a shape that's not even an actual common shape. It could be like this: boop, 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 boop. A shape has to be something that's closed up. There can't be a gap in the line of a shape.
Yeah.
So any shape.
That's a very good point. Any shape can be infinite, not just a circle. So I've been thinking it was a circle this whole time. See, that's why I like to talk to my son Slade, because about philosophical matters, because, or even psychological matters too, because little kids are life before bills. So adults have to go to work. We know all this stuff when we're kids, and then we have to go to work. But also not to take away from his brilliance either. But so we know all this stuff when they're kids, and then some of us go to college, and then we're still in the experimental phases and learning about everything from the whole world from A to Z, from beginning
But you
to time.
can't learn everything about the universe.
And then when you start,
like no one's never gonna know who created. No one even knows if God's even real.
no.
Can you see God?
It just takes.
You're not, because you're not really even, because no human being's gonna ever see God.
Yeah.
Even you're not gonna see God when you're in heaven, because you're not a human when you're in heaven. You have the form of a human, but you're not human. A human has to be something on earth with skin and body parts and hair, but when you're in heaven, you're not on earth, and you don't really have all that, so you're technically not even human anymore in heaven.
Right.
So no human, and you wouldn't be able to tell human beings what God looks like or give them a picture, because you can't go back to earth. And you probably could, but no one could see you, no one could hear you, and if you move something, no one's going to see it move.
Yeah, no one knows whether or not
no one's going to see it move, even if they're staring where you are while you're quote-unquote moving it. They're not gonna see it. You wouldn't be able to move anything really. Like you would trip on a leaf because it's just gonna stay frozen to you unless someone moves it, or you're just gonna go straight through it. But if you're going straight through anything, you're just gonna fall through the earth and fall through everything.
Yeah.
And even fall through gravity.
Yeah.
Like fall through the ground. You're gonna fall through the dirt. You're gonna fall through the core of the earth. You're gonna fall through the earth.
But the only people who really truly know whether or not there is an afterlife are dead people, but they don't talk too much, you know. Like the only people they either know or they don't know, because if they.
But a really crazy thing that hasn't, I don't think, happened in a long time, but some people have died but came back to life, and they say that they see Jesus.
Oh yeah.
And some of them are like super sick and like die of like cancer or something. A kid died when he was like 3 years old. Died when he was like 3 years old, and then he came back to life perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with him.
Oh, yeah?
He's like a normal person, and he
had like cancer or something like that?
Yeah, something really bad that killed him.
Oh.
That killed him.
Wow.
And then he was
Is that on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to check that out. And he came back perfectly healthy and
then he lived a normal life.
Wow. What did he say that he saw?
He said he saw his great grandpa or his grandpa that he never got to meet.
Really?
And that he saw Jesus.
Oh. Cool. That's pretty interesting.
And I've been noticing that I could remember things from really long time ago. I remember it snowing when I was really young.
What about, do you remember it was snowing in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, do you remember?
I remember what I was even wearing a green sweater.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. But you don't
Curly
remember?
hair.
You don't remember going to Montessori, huh?
I do remember going to Montessori.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You remember Miss Lopa, Miss Williams?
Yeah. The playground.
Yeah.
Those little house things.
Well, see,
I remember like all the main people that were there. I actually remember one that wasn't there most of the time. I don't remember. Only remember like one's name.
well,
They had like a girl. They had a boy, another boy,
well, see,
and then another boy that was really bad. And they had like 2 dogs.
well,
And they always had that person that was upstairs.
well, see, the thing is about that is, I have some.
remember all
I have a few memories too, like when I was Pierce's age,
But-
and I have a few memories. I have a few memories here and there from whenever I was a little kid, like a long time ago. But like 3, 4, 5, and all that stuff. And there are going to be key stuff that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. And there's some stuff that you remember that really you don't think, like, it's really not that memorable. You know, there's some stuff that you wish that you would remember, or that you think that you're going to remember forever, but you wind up not remembering. And then there's certain stuff that just, like, it doesn't make sense.
Weird
like,
little. I remember when I was like 3 years old, standing, looking at the playground down the hill
yeah,
on the concrete
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah, like one time for me and my wife both have this, or me and mommy both have this clear memory. Clear, I mean HD 4K clear memory of when
We always say that like real life is HD. It's the most possible HD something. It's not even HD because it's not a machine electronic screen.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's just funny. It's just a funny similarity. But so we both have this clear, perfectly crystal clear memory of when we were on our honeymoon in the Bahamas. And we got off a boat on an island, a beautiful island.
But how am I supposed to remember that? Because I wasn't born. I was in January.
No.
I wouldn't be able to remember that because I wasn't even born yet.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that everybody has like these. We remember these weird things, like these things that. So we got off the boat on this beautiful island, this beautiful water.
You remember
remember
every little detail.
But what we remember is there was a used Band-Aid floating around in the water, and we both were looking at it. And I can remember to this day, crystal clear, this used and that was like 10 years ago. It was like a used Band-Aid just floating around in the water, and we were and we both talked about it later.
But you know, it's one of the really crazy things.
It's like out of all the beautiful things,
one of the
rainbow,
really crazy
water,
things
in this beautiful paradise, but you remember floating used Band-Aid in the water, like clearer, more HD, clearer, and more like than anything else. But it's not like you tried to remember on purpose.
You just remember it.
You just do, like it just.
But you know, it's one of the really crazy things, and why I'm saying I could remember things from far away when it's snowing. It's like a picture, but it's it's unusual picture.
Yeah.
It's not from first person view. It's from a different view next to me. I remember the detail, like, of what my eyes. I was doing like this against the window.
Yeah.
And I'll see my back.
Where at?
Against the window.
At a park, you said?
No, in our apartment.
Oh.
Against the window, my hands like this.
Yeah.
You remember that?
No, not the same specific memory as you, and you were looking down?
Yeah, I was looking down at all the snow, and they had like a snowman or something.
Yeah. I remember the time that it snowed, though. The only time
I don't remember going out to play, though. See, like you said, a Band-Aid. I remember looking out the window, but I don't remember actually playing in the snow.
Yeah.
I never even knew. I thought all I did was inside all day, and I never even knew that we ever went outside that day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You played outside a lot that day. But see, that was what I was saying. Is that it's so strange how. I mean, the things that we remember, I don't know why that happens. There's just certain random memories that get sealed in your memory forever. Of course, when tragic events happen, like really intense, like getting a car wreck or a bad car wreck, or I don't know.
Or like when great-grandpa died. When great-grandpa, because he was alive my whole life.
Yeah. How'd you feel about that?
Really sad. I literally cried.
Oh yeah.
But the music was the worst part. I didn't cry about anything else, but when that music started to play, that's when.
At the funeral.
Yeah. When the music started to play, that was the worst part.
Well, especially like being your age, just being at a funeral, seeing a dead body, was pretty, because when I was 9, my grandpa died.
But one of the
But I remember he liked you a lot though too, so.
One of the things is that he was alive my whole life, right?
Yeah.
Alive my whole life since I was born.
Yeah.
But I don't remember him with legs though. Like.
Yeah. Well.
Because that was when I was newborn.
I remember when I was 9, my grandpa died. My mom's dead, and I wasn't even that close to him, and I cried my eyes out so hard. But it wasn't because I was close to him at all. It was just because it was the first time I seen a dead body. It was the first time I realized. I guess it was the first time I actually really
realized that everyone's gonna die.
That
there's no way. It's like a gate, a big giant wall, and it's that wall's death, and you're really old, and you're right next to that wall after a really long journey, and there's no way to get past it. It's going across the whole and around the whole earth. Once you get to that point, there's no way to run straight into that wall.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But when you get older, like 110, then that's when you go slower and slower on your journey. But when you don't even make it before you're out, you're like faster than Flash, and you're like teleporting right next to the wall. Bumping. You're basically born right against that wall. Like, you're born right against that wall, and then, but when you're gonna live really old, you're born real far from that wall, and then you go walk all the way there until you hit the wall, and there's no other way to go, but you just run straight into the wall.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What are your views on reality?
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, what is reality? You know?
What, life and...
Yeah, like reality. Like, what do you think that, like, all of this, you know, what do you think all of this is? You know, it's all just reality, you know?
God.
Yeah, God. God is
Reality.
like every single
Reality is God's real name. Reality is God's real name.
Oh,
But
nice.
God is just one of the most common nicknames.
Oh, and this is what I've been wondering too. So,
But what about
how have you developed your views on God? How have you just came up with them on your own, or have you seen it from TV or books?
like from you and other people and books and all that?
But your main views, I haven't discussed too much with you about God because
But what about
I want you to develop.
what
your
about
own
what
views.
about other other areas and other cultures that have different gods?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
but those are not really gods. Those are really like Jesus's. God has like so many sons.
Oh, that's a good point.
And Jesus had like 7 billion kids.
Yeah, we're all children of God.
Yeah. Someone was up when I was in first grade said that me and him were brothers, but he said me and him were God brothers.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. That's sure nice. So, I guess we'll end on that and go to Slade's channel. What is it again? Tell them about it again. On Slade's YouTube channel. Find it. What's the name?
It's called, if you search the first Scroll Man, all in one word, all in lowercase, on YouTube, you'll find a channel called Slade. Click it. But unless you're already searching for it, you could just click the annotation somewhere on the screen.
Okay.
We haven't decided where to put it yet, but it's going to be somewhere on the screen.
So subscribe to Slade's channel so you can hear more about all of this kind of stuff, and just to see.
I don't really talk about this. I don't really talk about this on my channel a lot, but sometimes you see how-tos and sometimes just random videos. I don't really have a topic for my channel. I just do there's some videos where the topic's gaming, some of it's people in blogs, and some of it's how-to and style and all.
Yeah, it's 8-year-old kid channels, just all kind of different stuff, Just fun, silly, fun stuff,
Yeah,
or stuff to do with computer programming and programs and installation.
I did make a video about HTML. It's called How to Change Text on Someone Else's Video. But it's one of the old videos.
Yeah.
So try to find it. It's not permanent. It's not permanent like don't worry, you're not hacking into a website and change it. Because you know how different YouTube would be? YouTube wouldn't even be YouTube. If you search up youtube.com, it's probably just going to be a blank page because someone's changing it and people are always changing it.
And that's a good point. And so check out my book, Eternal Conversations. The link is down below. Subscribe if you wish.
And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like.
And listen to the Eternal Conversations podcast. And
if for some reason you can, maybe you could even download this video.
Yeah, and so
to MP3, and you could listen it.
Yeah, so yeah, right on the website. Just hit the download link, and
you could go to. There's tons of websites. YouTube to MP4, YouTube to MP3, but find one that's accurately or acceptable, and maybe.
Well, on my website though, there's gonna have download links. So
I know, but you don't have a website though.
Well, I'll be getting one called Eternal Conversations.
But for now,
Eternal Conversations.
But for now, you could just do that.
Yeah. For now, you can just check it out. Check out my link to my books down below: Eternal Conversations, Immortalization, and etc. And
but anyway,
thank you very much
for watching.
Peace, love, and light.